Time for us to get into some community stories, and it's very troubling, when you go about your business and you do not feel safe because you're not quite sure when you are going to be attacked by certain unscrupulous persons within our society. Well, this is what's happening now. It looks as though the case of robberies is on the increase, on the ascendancy. We have a story incident that took place on Friday, not far from here actually, maybe about 5 minutes from here, at Caprice. And let me take you to that story on citinewsroom.com. You can go there and check it out. The story here says, Caprice robbery. 2 armed robbers killed, 1 arrested. 2 suspected armed robbers have been shot dead, with 1 being arrested in connection with the robbery attack on December 9th at Caprice, where a businesswoman was shot and robbed of an unspecified amount of money. An update released by the Ghana Police Service said the 2 suspected robbers were killed after a shootout ensued between the service and the robbers at their hideout. Police have shot dead 2 armed robbers and 1 arrested in connection with the robbery attack at Caprice on Friday, the 9th of December 2022, where a female victim was attacked, shot, and robbed. Sustained police intelligence operations since 9th December took the fight to the robbery gang at their hideout. The name of the location withheld for now. And the robbers engaged the police in a shootout. In the process, 2 were shot dead and 1 was arrested. The police service also recorded some mild casualties where 1 police officer sustained a gunshot wound and currently receiving medical care. And the story goes on to quote that. Now, it goes on to say the victim, a businesswoman who was driving a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado with registration number, and it puts the number there, it says, was trailed from West Hills Mall to Caprice, where she was shot in the head and robbed. She was then rushed to the 37 Military Hospital, where her condition has since been stabilized. All right, so that's the story there. It's, Frima, I know we were speaking earlier off air, and you mentioned how you happened across a crowd of people, and you were wondering what was going on.
That was on Friday afternoon. Yeah, so I drove past the Caprice, so when I got to Abeka Junction at the traffic light, I stopped and saw a policeman. So I asked what was happening, because you couldn't miss it, and you'll be concerned. You would want to know what exactly is going on. So when I was driving past, I thought that someone had been knocked down, maybe because I saw quite a number of Okada riders, a lot of motorbikes. I thought a motor rider had been knocked down. So I felt like, hey, Charlie, these people, because the numbers were too huge. So I asked the policeman, what's happening there? Has somebody been knocked down? He said, no, there was a shootout, there was a robbery. I started shaking, I was like, I just drove past that route and said, yeah. So we are just going there. We are going to get all the motorbikes from that place. But it was frightening because this was in broad daylight. People are going about their normal duties. I had moved from Adabraka going to Tesano for a meeting, and I saw something like this. And I felt, anything could have happened. There was a shootout. People are firing guns. There could be a stray bullet hitting somebody. That's scary. It wasn't in the night. That's all I'm trying to say. That this happened at a time where, like, busy hours of the day, when people are just going about their normal duties, vehicles all over the place. And we are experiencing something like this. Very worrying,
very worrying.
If robbers in these days are no longer afraid to rob at night, bringing it now
into the day,
then really there is a serious cause for concern. This is in Accra,
A few months ago, actually, the Ghana Bar Association came out to express their worry and fears regarding the upsurge in armed robbery. The story is also on citynewsroom.com. Let me just take that for you. GBA, alarmed by increased robberies, announces 20,000 Ghana Cedi bounty on lawyers' killers. So one of the members of the association was attacked and killed. The Ghana Bar Association has expressed fears over the upsurge in armed robbery and other violent crimes being recorded in parts of the country. This following the killing of one of its members, Richard Badombi, by armed robbers in the Savannah region last Saturday. The group has humbly and respectfully implored the relevant security agencies to carry out swift and thorough investigations of the incident, and in order to identify the perpetrators of this heinous crime and make them face the full rigors of the law. This was in a GBA statement. Okay, and it goes on to give the vehicle number and all of that. Now, this call by the GBA was basically looking at robbery across the country and the surge across the country. We are having a spate of it, apparently looking like happening in more the southern sector at this point in time. Of course, we just talked about the one in Caprice in Accra, but there seems to be having another one yesterday in the Gomoa area as well.
Yeah. So it's really becoming worrying and one too many. Now we have our Central Regional correspondent, Gomoa Fetteh, joining us to give us much more insight into what happened yesterday. Thank you for your time, Gomoa.
Thank you too, Prema.
Right, so there was a robbery in Gomoa yesterday, right?
Yes.
So tell us much more about this. What really happened and which area specifically did it occur in Gomoa?
Well, you know, Prema, the robbery incident happened, that was on Monday morning in Gomoa, Budumburam. You know, the Budumburam camp is noted to habit Liberians, Ghanaians, Nigerians. As a matter of fact, you can say it is, yes, foreigners generally. People say it is the United Nations of Budumburam because it cuts across all nationalities, you know. So this area is as high risk of crime. There's a lot of crime activities happening there. And on Monday morning, the persons around woke up to the news of a gun battle between police officers from the anti-armed robbery squad and then some armed robbers who allegedly were on motorbikes. The indications that these armed robbers are believed to be the ones who shot a woman around Caprice area. So the police officers trailed the armed robbers to Budumburam, and then they got the wind of their information that they are inside the camp. So they came to lay ambush and then waited for them. So it was a gun battle, according to residents who lived around. People were really afraid when they heard gunshots here and there between the police and then the robbers. They managed to kill two of the robbers and took their motorbike.
Right.
They arrested one person, and then the other two, I think, they escaped. So as at now, the police is still looking for the other two individuals who escaped.
Right. So, Gomoa, the Caprice robbery happened on Friday. Was there a robbery, you know, on Monday, that is yesterday, or this is a case of the police following up on what happened on Friday? Did we record any robbery yesterday?
No, Prema, you know, there was no robbery yesterday.
Okay.
But as at Sunday evening, I spoke to some individuals around, and then they were telling me that, I mean, there have been subsequent robberies around that Budumburam area, and it has been frequent. So one gentleman told me that it is normally, you know, there are petty traders who stay in the camp, so they wake up at dawn around 3 a.m., 4 a.m. to go to Accra to do their business. So it was becoming dangerous because persons around were being robbed and all that. So the moment he told me that thing, it was on Monday morning that I heard that they had been gunshots in the camp. So I was saying that maybe what the guy said is actually the fact, because in the morning persons woke up to the gunshot, and then I mean they were complaining of subsequent robberies that had happened in the area. So we can't actually tell if it is the same individuals who are doing that. But perhaps because they come to the camp to do their operations, it is believed that, I mean, they are part of those operations.
But has it been established whether these people live in Budumburam? Well,
we tried speaking to the police in the area to get more details on on whether the individuals actually reside in the camp, but we didn't get that. But from interestingly, people go and then commit crimes somewhere in Accra, and then because the camp harbors a lot of criminals, they come inside the camp. They stay there because it is a safe haven for them. I mean, nobody comes there to do anything. You know, I've gone to the Buduburam camp openly. They are selling weed, marijuana. They are selling all those ecstasy, all those sort of, enhancement drugs, So it is a place where they are doing a lot of criminal activity. So criminals actually like that particular place inside the Buduburam. So you go there, you see all sorts of people there.
Right. Now, did you pick any information, among residents, if they know these people, what the mood was like yesterday?
Well, I spoke to some residents after the incident happened. They are saying these individuals, they are not persons they know.
Okay.
Perhaps it might be that, they also have friends inside the camp. So after they committed that act in Accra, they come there to live there, to reorganize themselves and then move again. So that was when the police actually got wind of the information, and then they laid ambush in some areas where they know they were. So they didn't actually get the opportunity to enter into the camp. It was before they were just entering, and the police rushed on them, and it was a gun battle. So, but if they had entered into the camp, it would be difficult for the police to locate them because there are a lot of persons living inside the camp.
What time exactly did this happen in the morning?
It happened around 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yes. So it happened around 1 a.m. And the traditional authorities keep on saying that that portion of the Buduburam camp has overlived its use and that they should demolish it. Yeah. I got information. I got the chance to speak to the chief of Gomoa Fetteh, the Mankado of Gomoa Fetteh, and was actually hammering on the same thing, that portion of the Buduburam should be demolished for the land to be used for something purposeful.
That is behind the market.
Behind the market, okay. Yes, the Buduburam camp, yes. He believes that area has outlived this purpose because the Liberian refugees, most of them have relocated, some have settled into the community. So there's a need for government to actually, there's a need for government to actually demolish the place and use the place for something better. Yeah. I don't know if you quite remember, there were some instances where, they requested that the place should be demolished. It went back and forth, but so now nothing has been done about the situation. The chiefs are not happy that, anytime you hear of Buduburam camp, it has to do with crime. Women and children are living in fear.
Yeah, but Calvis, yesterday when the story broke, some persons who were spoken with seemed to be of the opinion that Buduburam has a bad name and a bad rap, over the period because they say criminals live there, but they were feeling somewhat justified that these robbers came from Accra and that they do not come from the Buduburam community. What are your thoughts?
Yes, David, it's actually true. Most of these robbers go and commit the crime in Accra, and then they find their way to Buduburam camp because, there are a lot of guys who are into all those criminal activities. So that is the safe haven for them. When they get to the Buduburam camp, you will never know. Some of them have even committed crimes in Nigeria. They have run to Buduburam camp because, they get information that that place is good for them to stay. There are a lot of guys that, persons have pinpointed to us that this guy is a criminal in Nigeria, but he's here. This guy is a criminal in Liberia, he's here. And you can't make them out because you see them as normal persons during the day. You get it. So it is during the night that they undertake their operations. It is dangerous to even walk inside the Buduburam camp sometimes around 9, 10. They might take your phone, they will snatch your bag. It's not a safe place to live, So the traditional authorities are actually advocating.
Okay.
Right, Calvis, thank you very much, and we'll get back to you if there are any updates. So we've been talking about robberies happening in Accra and a little beyond. So we recorded one robbery on Friday at Car Price. Now it appears from what Calvis is telling us that the police followed suit, on Friday's robbery and was able to gun down some of the robbers yesterday. There has been some who also escaped. I think one person has been arrested, so there's one more. But really, what are the residents in Buduburam saying, and how do they feel about all this? Let's take a look at this.
Yes, so much nipa 2 na me no adwane. Etuaka police ni ba konsa. Baby ton ye nim baby omufi ina omu ba ha ya tensi omu abechi omu ha ba sanka sadie we nu anka kane no omu si labere kam edi bone na omu bo labere cap na stress omu njai na ebi na anro bi o ya tensi omu abeku omu labere camp ya no ba sanka ya ni omu anti a ye na ye ho akire ye nti ye dem ati police for no omu ye sa adwuma no nyame mo omu adwuma nya kese ya kunipa mienu ina mienu ejani ina etuaka ba ku police ni ba ku nti ono na ọmụ abịa ma treatment we treatment ni kwa hu shi ọmụ boy no etresa Ghana yo killers wa na mu anye camp na ebe bodibo na camp de sa tutu asem ni de hu bi da apart from there ya chensi an Robert fi Accra de aba ha nti no.
So yeah, this is how residents feel. But we also have to mention that one police officer got injured.
Yes,
you know,
in the shootout.
Yeah,
yes, in the shootout. Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that this is. I'm hoping that, you know, when the Ghana Bar Association's call for improved security, that, you know, the operation of the police will really extend to the point where armed robbers do not feel comfortable to just go about broad daylight, you know, activities like this, you know. I mean, in the night under the cover of darkness, you know, all sorts of evil take place. But people should not feel so confident, so emboldened that they feel as if,
now how robbers are able to get up during the day, pick guns, you know, attack people is really, really, really frightening, very scary. We really need to do something. Police really needs to do something and put a stop to it, or bring it to the barest minimum, because now we are no longer safe. You know, on the streets.
and I mean, another time we can have a conversation about, you know, the proliferation of weapons in the system, but this is part of the problem that we have, right? I mean, sometimes you even see viral videos where people get out of their car out of rage. They are arguing with somebody. They go to their car and they go and pick a gun. And you think, you know, gone are the days where people will go and pick a spanner and they go and pick a, you know, something from their car. Guns. But they are picking guns from their
So you know, the thing is, people feel now your security is in your hands.
It's in your hands. That's the problem.
So find some way somehow to protect yourself, and they feel the best thing I have to do is to own a gun. And now the thing is, these people owning guns, what is the training they have? Can anybody just decide that I want to protect myself, so I'm going to get a gun? You know, who can own a gun? Do you have to go through some kind of psyching up? Do you have to go through some form of training, you know, just to be able to control yourself in certain situations where you don't have to pull a gun? Is it that the moment you now feel, or now you own a gun, you feel the least thing, I have something that I can bring out, you know, I'm scaring people, I'm doing, really, what are the issues surrounding owning guns and your ability to own a gun?
Well, we are going to speak to Nana Sisemu Kwesi Dudu. He's a secretary for the Gomoa Fetteh Stool Lands. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you very much.
All right, so can you sort of shed a little bit of light on your experiences as far as the insecurity situation is concerned in your area? There are people are suggesting that Buduburam is an unsafe place. It's a neighborhood that has become like a nest for robbers, you know, and so on and so forth. Is that the case? If so, what is your call on government to do about that space itself? Just share with us a little bit of your thoughts.
Thank you very much, my brother. I think talking about insecurity around this area, that one I object to it, because crimes, most of the crime committed somewhere and the people run away and hide here. So when they hide here, then the police will come for them, and maybe in the process of coming for them, it may be exchange of bullets and go, and someone may die or something. That is why sometimes people gives us more names about Gomoa Fetteh and its environs, such as Bodobrem camp. For about 3 years back, we were trying to join hands with the district City Council and the district chief executive, as well as to demolish some parts of Bodombrem, because we thought it has turned to criminals' hideout. When someone commits crime from somewhere, before you hear something, the police will come there and pick the person from there. So means they have used the place as a criminal's hideout when they commit crime somewhere, and they'll run away and come and hide themselves in Bodombrem camp.
Yeah. So why do you think people use that as a preference, for a place to hide out? Look at how big Accra is. There are so many places to go and hide. Why Bodombrem? Why Gomoa Fetteh?
You see, there is a place that they carve within that Bodombrem camp, and they have named it Gap.
Okay.
You see, and when you go there, you can see all sorts of African nationals there.
Okay.
When those guys over there, you can see some trading with this Indian hemp, even cocaine and co. You can find out those things there.
Okay.
But I think that place, it was carving for the refugees, those librarians. But for now, when you go there, the librarians are not there. But you can see all sorts of African nationals there, whom they have always. Some have committed crime somewhere and they run and hide themselves at that place. So concerning what happened the other time, last Sunday night, the people didn't commit the crime here. They committed it in Accra. But they came to hide themselves here.
Yes.
So when police were trailing them, they were trying to branch into the camp. So police were suspecting that if they branch into that camp, they getting them will not be easy for them. So that is when the police fired one, and I think they too fired at the police.
Yeah.
So 2 of them died instantly.
Okay.
And the others managed to run away from that camp.
Okay.
So,
yes. So Nana, don't you think that from what you're saying, if the people use it as their hideout, then that's where they operate from, right? So the call that says that the people from the Bodombrem camp are, committing crimes, of course, the crime will not be committed in Bodombrem camp. It will be committed elsewhere, but the people that's their operation base. That's the base of operation.
That one is another aspect of it, fine. But you see, there are some people there too who are always helping police to get them arrested.
Okay.
Even what happened last Sunday, when I heard it, I think I managed to call some of the policemen, and they gave me some names, and I called some people there, and they helped. The one that was arrested yesterday,
yes,
those boys managed to help the police arrest that guy.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So some operate from the camp, and some don't even operate from there, but they will operate from somewhere else and commit the crime at maybe somewhere and come back and hide here.
Okay.
Some they don't have their gangs here.
Okay. All right. So how far advanced are the discussions with either the assembly or with government to demolish those areas that have become popular as a hideout?
You see, somewhere around, I think somewhere around June, July also,
yes,
we had information that the district executive said now the green light has been given to him to demolish the place.
Okay.
So he even gave a notice to people staying there.
Okay.
That I think he gave them some grace period that they should relocate for him to demolish the place. Along the line, we had information that Interior Minister stopped him from demolishing the place. But what I'm saying is that if the Gomoa Fetteh, our humble prayer is that if the minister is having challenges about even machines that they will use to operate to break the camp, we are ever ready to help.
Okay.
Because every day the name given to Gomoa, we don't like it. The bad name is going too high.
Okay.
So we want the place to be demolished. Then governments will join hands with us and use the place for better development.
Okay. And I thank you so much for speaking to us this morning. We've been speaking with Nana Sesemu Kwesi Dodo. He is the Gomoa Secretary for the Gomoa Fetteh Stool Lands. All right. So, I mean, I think it's obvious that it's high time, if not the entire camp settlement, parts of the camp settlements.
Look, I mean, that area, David, if you go there, it's not even fit for human settlement.
I've seen it before.
It is that bad.
You know, terrible.
Human beings should not even be living there, on health grounds and security grounds and everything.
I think even Caleb has done an About Town.
Exactly. People shouldn't be there. I mean, it's just as simple as that.
And I'm not sure why any government authority would be would have any reservations about breaking the place down and just
for me, I think that
raising the whole place to the
just
ground.
as they did at Sodom and Gomorrah, we should do same.
Yeah, exactly.
Just demolish the
Clear
place, because now we all know that is a den of criminals.
Yeah.
So why are we still, keeping these areas when we know of a place where criminals are confident and comfortable to go hide, knowing that police will not come there? Why do we even have a place where police cannot go there? Why? So I mean, if we are not ready to use it for anything, let's just flatten the grounds. We can't have people hiding on a field, on a park. So let's just take that. For me, even apart from robberies and stuff, the place is unsightly. It's terrible. People should not be living there.
Yeah, I'm even wondering about the government secured that land as a refugee space, right? So in essence, maybe compensation was given to the stool in order to have it as a place for the refugees under the responsibility of the government, right? But it's way past that usage.
Of course, because most of these refugees have been repatriated, others have been integrated and all that. So really, and for me, it was meant for a good cause. But if we are not able to use it for its intended purpose, let's say that the refugees are even still here. We are trying to help some nationals. Now they come in, plus our very own, posing as threats, posing danger to society. Why are we still doing this?
Maintaining it, we need to clear it. Anyway, well.